Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. Today we're going to take a look at the LR Gamas. LR Gamma 1 and 2, very fun character. That is going to be dropping tonight on Global Dokkan. So the thing about the LR Gammas that's very simple is we start with the fact that they are very good because they are a very high level, top tier support type character, right? I think that's hugely powerful support characters who are able to go toe-to-toe with the biggest bosses are really valuable. This is why, like, I mean, you know, more of like a meme thing with like Broly, Chan, Lemo, but how often do I run them? Literally every single time I use super bosses, right? To be fair, I guess I don't know that I always do that with the Gammas. I think for me, I just find that the Gammas can be a little bit cumbersome at times. I mean, it's not something that always happens, but like, let's say we're doing a normal run. By the way, the Gammas have a really good standby. I'm sure we're going to talk about the standby a little bit right here, but I would argue the Gammas, they might have like the best transformation condition. I guess maybe like turn 4 start of battle, to me is like perfect, because there's just no chance, like it's always 100% consistent with no chance for any issues. But the Gammas, besides just being like, you know, again, like turn 4 start a battle, is like pretty much as good as it gets. So I intentionally in the last turn put Krillin and Android 18 in slot 1 against like 10 attacks to take damage, and they did like a perfect turn, unfortunately. So this is a pretty bad rotation right here, honestly. I'm gonna leave the two Gammas together, I guess. Now, one thing with the Gammas, damn, is we do need them to get orbs. If I hit this, that will... No, it's not. Oh my god, dude. Okay. I do wish... Because, you know, we start to get characters that need specific types of orbs. We just have 50 tech orbs everywhere right here, which, unfortunately, is going to be very annoying to try and get the Gamma standby. Let's just quickly get through this turn. And, I mean, next turn, we'll be able to... Like, we just got a horrible... Listen, when you get the leader plus friend lead same turn, you know, 99 times out of 100, it's going to be a god-awful turn, right? Especially with a character that needs specific orbs. The Gammas in their first two phases, STR, INT, or AGL will suffice. Again, getting back to their great condition, the Gammas, they need to do 3 attacks in order to do their standby. Okay, here's the second one. Perfect. This is from an STR orb, right? Now, my Gammas are built mostly additional, because just an additional normal, which we get, perfect, is good enough. That's exactly... I oftentimes am not as high a fan of going additional as a lot of other people, because you're just gonna... By the way, Gogeta 14 million right there with like not many links and stuff. Pretty solid. That's of course, you know, both Gammas on rotation. Gogeta's getting 100% support on this turn. But additionals so often are just additional normals, because I mean it's a 50-50, but it feels, I mean, I don't know, it feels to me like it's more like a 90-10 that I get like a hit 'em with 10 system additional normal compared to a super. But for the Gammas specifically, just the normal is all we need, because the Gammas can do their standby if either A, they do 3 attacks, or B, they're under 70% HP. I found that to be a very, very great elite condition. Let's just go ahead and get Vegeta his revive right away. We don't really need to worry about saving orbs for next turn, because we're going to go into a new phase. You know, remember, the Gamma's getting INT, STR, AGL, any of those will be fine. Okay, there's Vegeta dodging like usual. We're here in the new stages of the God event. I feel like these are just going to be great playgrounds to kind of just like do showcases for characters right now. Hellas is starting to piss me off, though. Can you stop dodging, please? My biggest nightmare is to go into the next rotation and Hellas has like a sliver of a health bar left like this. Ugh, that's the most annoying. All right, so we're gonna go into this next turn. Gammas are gonna be ready to transform. My Gammas are. I guess I brought Gamma 1 to kind of like synergize with them. All right, there's Beerus's territory. We should kind of be careful here. Orbs are not the greatest, but like it's fine. Here, let's just do the Gamma's standby, and then I think we'll talk quite a bit about their first 2 phases here. I mean, we could just rock the Gammas together and have 7 out of 7 links. I think that the Gamas defensively in their first two forms, their base form, just this form we have right here, gets crushed turn 1 by the biggest bosses in the game. Well, not Goku and Frieza, but Cell Max and Evolution Blue Vegeta and Blue Cow King Goku, which I consider to be the second and third hardest fights in the game. The Gamas can get one shot in those two fights, right? To be fair to the Gamas, though, the one fight is physical. It's a 2.4 million super turn 1. That's a physical type disadvantage for them. So, of course, I mean, they're going to get smoked by that. But Cell Max can one-shot them as well. But if we have a turn where they have all of their Gamma links up, I mean, they get some nice defense from these stats as well. So, sure, let's go ahead and do this. When we go into the standby, by the way, they will be charging up Gamma 2's standby for every attack that anyone on the team does. So it's the same one that Sword of Hope Trunks has got. All right, so now we have the Goatmas transformed right here. We can kind of go ahead and begin discussing things. Now, this Beerus does actually hit rather hard. I would be very curious to see how our LR Gamas could eat this. But remember, this is a very good turn for the Gamas. So the Gamas, right, in this, I guess let me talk about their base form a little bit more first before we talk about the second form. So again, in base, they can kind of get cooked like that. I guess I did talk about the, EGL, STR, or INT key spheres. They can get up to 2 guaranteed additionals based upon INT, STR, and AGL orbs. Now, in terms of my Gamas, my build, I did prioritize additional right here, as you guys could see. By prioritizing additional, I am okay with a hidden potential system additional normal at the start of the fight, which we did get, but that 26 additional allowed us to go into the standby. So that's like it worked. Like just getting it is enough because it's enough to get us into their standby. So that's all we need. Now, if you have good orbs, you're not going to need the hidden potential system at all, but we have bad orbs and we are still able to get the standby with the additional. So I think you could go, I would say anything but crit. So the Gamas have so much built-in crit everywhere in all 3 forms. It's so easy for them to crit. I don't recommend crit, but if you want to go additional, dodge, raw attack, raw defense, I think that all works well. Now, the crit, the place where that's valuable is Gamma 2's nuking standby attack, but, I mean, maybe you're someone who doesn't want to do this, but you can crit fish with that. So, like, okay, let's say we could drop Gamma 2's standby right here. Before doing it, by, like, moving the rotation around, collecting orbs and stuff like that, you will, like, kind of, like, have different RNG. I did this when we did the Gamas versus Goku and Frieza fight, and I reset a couple of times, finally got the crit. Gamma 2, standby attack, 30 million crit, killed Goku and Frieza before they had a chance to target us with the 5.7 million super, right? So you can take advantage of that. So I think, like, I do really like my build for the Gamas. I think the 10 crit is good enough. We've gotten the crit, many times on Gamma 2's standby attack. So 10 is good enough there. The additional, of course, can be very big at the start to help you get into the standby. Dodge is good. When they're in the solo Gamma 1 phase at the end, he is not going to need dodge as much, provided you can get his orbs, either the STR or the INT orbs, right, for him. But dodge, of course, going to be very good. I mean, remember, Gamas, they are a support character. So usually I do try to, I guess, prioritize kind of like defensive ability, stuff like that. Now, the friend Gamas, yeah, they have a couple of their well, no, these actually, the bronze equip is one of the Gamas exclusive equips, which, by the way, that event comes out tonight. I think about an hour and a half after the banner for you global players. So you'll be able to get their exclusive equips. The raw defense on a heavy damage reduction character like this is not a bad idea. I could see the value of giving them their exclusive equips, right? Like, the big additional, like one of them is crit, getting the defense. It's definitely not a bad idea, for sure. All right, so I guess let's just go ahead and get going. So we have, you know, my Gamas are in their second phase right here. So they get 250% attack and defense and 50% damage reduction at the start of turn. They do get some buffs when attacking. They get 30% crit and an additional super with each INT key sphere obtained. So we're going to have 3 guaranteed supers by hitting this right there. And then they also get the additionals. It's the additionals has 70% chance to be a super. If you get AGL, STR, or INT orbs, we will, of course, go for that STR orb right there. Now, again, I think that this Beerus is pretty devastating, so let's be careful here. In terms of their links, they have Android Assault, Red Ribbon Army, Shocking Speed, Hero of Justice, Signature Pose, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. This character is way tankier when you have some of these links up, like Android Assault, 20% defense. Red Ribbon Army gives defense as well, right? Yep, 10% defense right there. Obviously, we have Shocking Speed, which is 5% defense as well. So, if, you know, we're... Gamma 1, this guy, he has aged. Remember, global players, you guys would be able to get his exclusive equips as well. I've got his silver and his gold, bronze one right there. See, with the extra defense right there. I maybe should consider giving him a gold dodge plus defense equip as well. But yeah, they're Gamma 1, he can work effectively in some of these fights, but he could get killed pretty easily as well. Alright, oh, there's a dodge, nice, okay. I was a little nervous if Beerus would super right away. 18 million is really good, considering how much support they give, 50% to Superhero, Defender of Justice, or Joint Forces. They have the guaranteed additionals as well. Remember, every INT orb gives them a 30% chance to crit. So they have a 60% chance to crit right now from the INT orbs. Right, we have the guaranteed additional supers. Now, in their second phase we're in, they give superclass allies 50% defense from their 18 key super. So then we also gave extra defense. Oh, this is beautiful. This is double digits right here. He hits really hard. Doesn't matter. The Gamas, after doing a barrage like that, right? I mean, remember, they're 18 key. They get 50% attack and defense, plus the 50% defense for superclass allies. On their 12 key, they get 30% attack and defense every super. So, you know, they're going to be way tankier. And they also get, from their passive in the second form, they get 50% attack and defense when attacking. So, the Gamas were, like in that point right there, after doing all their attacks, they can be very tanky. Oftentimes, I notice many people, and especially, I notice I always get, like, huge, like blowback from my own comment section, always, about, like, all the Gamas and this character. Oftentimes, people are just always assuming best situation, which is a huge issue for the Dokkan community. Like, when people talk about these characters, talk about stuff, again, they're only ever really assuming best case scenarios. The Gamas are going to be, I mean, once you get into their second, and especially Gamma 1 by himself, and you get them to attack first, it is going to be nigh impossible for the boss to kill him, especially if you've got their links up and stuff like that. Let's turn into Gogeta here. Now remember, Gamma 2 gets extra damage per us doing attacks. So let's drop UI Goku's active. So notice the little counter on the right. It was 8. Now it's going to go up one more. Now it's up to 9. And we could go ahead and drop Vegeta's active as well. Wabam right there. And then that will bump us up to 10 for the Gamma standby right here. I can keep charging it up though, right? We could do another turn. No. I have to drop it. We do have to drop it right here. Yeah, okay. All right, so we can go ahead and drop the Gamma standby. Yeah, this is very good for us. Once we drop the standby, we're going to go directly into solo Gamma 1. By the way, one reason the Gammas have such an elite condition is because the HP portion of it, you could theoretically, I mean, on a map that has a damage node on the field, you could have solo Gamma 1 out on turn 3, actually. But in the course of like a red zone fight or something like that, turn 4 will be the earliest you could see Gamma 1. If you have him second turn, you know, you start to turn under 70% HP, you could just immediately do the standby. You could, you know, charge up Gamma 2 for a turn, and then on that next turn, you'd be able to transform into him. So being able to do 2 transformations by turn 4 is definitely, again, a very elite ability that the Gammas have. And you know, as I've said, I'm very high on their conditions. I think they have a great condition to get the standby off and stuff like that. All right, no crit right there, and it was type disadvantage, so the damage didn't look super crazy. But the Gamas, that standby is a nuclear missile. It is so devastating to these bosses, right? Again, I mean, I will probably just play the clip of Gamma 2 killing Goku and Frieza for 30 million guaranteed, or 30 million crit at the end of the video. I do like playing some, like, if it's a clip that could show, like, a good thing about a character, I do like kind of like showing that as well. One mark of a good LR, by the way, I've said this for years, is Ki. Like, look at them. Starting at 24 Ki is good, although, to be fair, it doesn't really matter so much, because this is a character that does need orbs. All right, well, damn, we're 16 minutes already. Dude, I'm yapping away for the Gammas. All right, so Gamma 1 is mega elite. And we start, look no further than his 18 Ki super attack effect. So with this effect right here, he gets 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy, and then this shit is so broken. Super class allies, 50% defense for 2 turns. It's so good. The defensive numbers you see from characters after this super is so big. It really makes a difference, I found. It truly does. With LR Gamma 1 supering the turn before like this. The other thing about Gamma 1, if we have a situation like this, Gamma 1 gets 15% damage reduction start a turn. 15% damage reduction if HP is 30% or more. And then he gets 10% damage reduction up to a max of 50% per INT or STR key sphere obtained. And he does create INT key spheres. AGL key spheres get turned into INT. So right there, bam, we'll get that. Gamma 1 also gets 20% chance to crit per INT or STR key sphere up to 100%. So 5 key spheres, right? 5 INT or STR key spheres. And he does create them. At least some of them, so it's not the worst. And he has 100% crit and 80% damage reduction. I mean, there is also an HP condition attached to it, but being above 30% HP is not exactly crazy, right? Like, that's a fine condition. All right, let's hit this. So Gamma 1 right here, I mean, the rotation of the Gammas is definitely fun, but it's not super practical until you get to this guy. I mean, a lot of the Supreme Magnificent battle fights, they're not really going to be able to punish the second Gamma, like the standby phase of Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. I don't think they'll be able to punish that too often if they're in slot 1. Him potentially traditional normal, unfortunately. But like Gamma 1 by himself, he definitely can go slot 1 against a lot of the major bosses. He's 80% damage reduction. He'll be very effective. Now, keep in mind, a huge part of him, if you're going to rock Gamma 1 in slot 1, is you do want these links, Android Assault, Red Ribbon Army, Shocking Speed. You're going to want those up. That's a huge part of him, you know, if you're going to rock him in slot 1. That's why I typically, like, I feel like I don't really run the Gammas that much. I mean, that's just a consequence of how broken Superhero is, right? Like, it just, I mean, it literally just is what it is, that Superhero is so broken that you're not going to be able to run, like, every single character. We're not going to get any value from saving any orbs in this turn, because we should be killing Champa pretty easily right here. But yeah, Superhero is just so busted, man. There's actually more, like, top 15 characters than, like, you know, slots on the team. Like, it's you know, Superhero. I mean, it makes sense, because we have 2 Carnival LRs, 2 Dokkan Fest LRs, just in this year alone, right? So, it's like, you know, and then AGL, UI, and INT Evolution Blue Vegeta are the greatest EZAs of all time. Right? Like, I don't know. I tend to go back and forth these days in my head of who's better, INT Evolution Blue Vegeta or AGL, UI, Goku. They're both, like, again, the best EZAs of all time. So, and it's like, you will never see me running a team that potentially could have like Vegeta or UI Goku on it, and I'm not running them. You always run them. Period. Period. You always run them. They're just that good. All right, let's see. Oh, can't this guy lock? No, I think he seals now. I don't think he has a lock. I think he just has a seal. I'm just going to leave it just like this. It's up to 523. Oh, our last turn, our defense was lowered by Champa. Oh, yeah. Okay. Last turn, Gamma 1 just had, like, the defense was just lowered by Champa. All right, so we'll hit that right there. We'll hit that right there. Again, if there is a weakness for the Gammas, I mean, the reliance on orbs is probably what it would be. But obviously they're, you know, very, very good. So let me know what you guys think of the LR Gammas. They're definitely a very, very powerful character. And that's it. Gammas are sick. We'll let this turn finish up, and then we will finish the video. You guys could let me know exactly what you think about these dirty, dirty boys. Oh, really? Oh, we dodged it. Yeah, dude, we would have tanked that like crazy, but we did get a super attack dodge. I mean, listen, guys, you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, around here, you know, we do get some dodges. And that's only, I mean, you guys saw, I have, my Gammas are full additional. That's just a little cheeky 11 dodge I've got on them, but, you know, hey, man. Some of us just got the dodge like that, dude. That's all it is. That's all it is. All right. Can Belmont? I can't remember if Belmont could double super anymore. It'd be so funny if we do that and then like Belmont one shots AJ UI Goku right here. Let's see. We'll finish up this turn and then we're done. But yeah, Gammas are super elite. I have them a little bit outside of my top 10. But that's not really like, oh, the Gammas are so bad or the Gammas are fodder or anything. It's just, remember, like, 2024 is the best year in Dokkan history, and all these character releases are A+. You know, the Gammas are still just as effective as Gogeta and a lot of these other characters, right? So let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys next time.